an arm.
Really?
Fine resonance, Paul.
All right, thank you. Yes, yes. Welcome. My name is Paul Sugarman. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company, and today on Bastille Day, we are doing a reading of The Green Cockatoo by Arthur Schnitzler. And the reason we're doing that is because it is set on Bastille Day, on the original Bastille Day, which, all of the, there were many excesses of the French Revolution, but you gotta kind of love, Bastille Day, the idea of breaking down the prison and getting all the prisoners out. That is something I think that is worth celebrating. So anyways, and now we are going to be reading this play, this one-act play by Arthur Schnitzler, which has a lot of characters in it. And there are just 7 of us? 7 of us, yes. And who else is, six actually, because Azalee is on here twice. And her picture isn't working, so we will just hear her. I'm Paul Sugarman. I'm going to be reading the stage directions and playing like the chief of police and various things, probably a lot of smaller roles just to get through. And we also have Angus.
Hi, Angus Epworth from London, reading Lebret, the tailor, Henri, Émile, the Duc de Cadignan, and Guillaume.
Great. And Azalee. Azalee, I don't know. I can't hear you. It's, like
Hi, I'm Azalee.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have just a few moments. Yeah, it just kind of takes a little bit when you click around, you know. I'm Azalee. I'm doing the François and as of short, le camp, je ne sais pas.
Yeah.
Le camp.
Mm-hmm. And Lansac, Marquis de Lansac. Yeah, and Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty, and I'm reading Scaviola, and the Severin, who I guess is the wife of the Marquis or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Marquis de Lansac. And yeah, and Eleanor.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Elizabeth Foreman, and I'm playing Grasset and Albi and Leocadier.
All right, and Michael.
I'm Michael. I'm your host, Prosper, of this great engagement at the theater in
All right, and so let us begin then. The Green Cockatoo, a grotesque in one act. The action takes place in Paris in the evening of the 14th July, 1789, in the underground tavern of Prosper. Scene, the Tavern of the Green Cockatoo, a medium-sized underground room. 7 steps lead down to it, right, rather far back. The stairs are shut off by a door on the top. Other stuff about the room is lighted by small oil lamps which hang from the ceiling. Enter the host, Prosper. Enter the citizens, Lebret and Grasset.
Come in, Lebret. I know the tap. My old friend and chief has always got a cask of wine smuggled away somewhere or other, even when all the rest of Paris is perishing of thirst.
Good evening, Grasset. So you show your face again, do you? Away with philosophy. Have you wished to take an engagement with me again?
The idea. Bring some wine, rather. I am the guest, you the host.
Wine? Where shall I get wine from, Grasset? They've sacked all the wine shops in Paris this very night. I'd leave wager that you had a hand therein.
Out with the wine. The mob who are coming an hour after us are bound. Do you hear anything, Lebret?
It's like slight thunder.
Good. Citizens of Paris, you're sure to have another barrel in reserve for the mob, so out with our wine. My friend and admirer, the citizen Lebret, tailor of the Rue Saint-Honore, will pay for everything.
Certainly, I pay.
Show him that you have money, Lebret.
Now, I will see if I. Oh. Where do you come from, Grasset? The Palace Royal?
For sure, I made a speech there. My good friend, it is my turn now. Do you know whom I spoke after?
Well,
After Camille Desmoulins. Yes, indeed, I dared to do it. And tell me, Lebret, who had the greater applause, Desmoulins or I?
You, without a doubt.
And how did I bear myself?
Oh, splendidly.
Do you hear, Prosper? I placed myself on the table. I looked like a monument, indeed I did. And all the thousands, 5,000s, 10,000s assembled round me, just as they had done before round Camille Desmoulins, and cheered me.
It was a louder cheer.
Indeed it was. Not much louder, but it was louder. And now they're all moving toward the Bastille. And I make bold to say they have followed my call. I swear to you, before the evening is out, we shall have it.
yes, to be sure. If the walls fall down before your speeches.
What? Speeches? Are you deaf? 'Tis a case of shooting now. Our valiant soldiers are there. They have the same hellish fury against the accursed prison as we have. They know that their brothers and fathers sit imprisoned behind those walls, but there would have been no shooting if we had not spoken. My dear Prosper, great is the power of intellect. There. Where are the papers?
Yeah.
Here, I have the latest pamphlets, which have just been distributed in the Palais Royal. Here is one by my friend Cerruti, memorial for the French people. Here is one by Desmoulins, who certainly speaks better than he writes. Free France.
When's your own pamphlet going to appear? The one you're always talking about, you know?
We need no more. The time has come for deeds. Anyone who sits within his four walls today is a knave. Every real man must go out into the streets.
Bravo! Bravo!
In Toulon, they have killed the mayor. In Brignoles, they have sacked a dozen houses, but we in Paris are always sluggards and will put up with anything.
You can scarcely say that now.
Up, you citizens, up!
Up. Lock up your shop and come with us now.
I'll come right enough when the time comes.
Ha! Aye, to be sure, when there's no more danger.
My good friend, I love liberty as well as you do, but my calling comes before everything.
There's only one calling now for citizens of Paris. Freeing their brothers.
Yes, for those who have nothing else to do.
What says he? He makes game of us.
Oh, never dreamt of it. But now, my friends, look to it that you go away. My performance will begin in a minute, and I cannot find you a job.
What performance? Is this a theater?
Certainly 'tis a theater. What? Only a fortnight ago, your friend was playing there. Here.
What were you playing here, Grasset? Why'd you let the fellow jeer at you like that without punishing him?
Calm yourself, it is true. I did play here. This is no ordinary tavern. 'Tis a den of thieves. Come.
You'll pay first.
If this is a den of thieves, I won't pay a single sou.
Explain to your friend where he is.
This is a strange place. People who play criminals come here, and others who are criminals without suspecting it.
Indeed.
I would have you mark that what I just said was very witty. It is positively capable of making the substance of a whole speech.
I don't understand a word of all you say.
I was simply telling you that Prosper was my manager, and he is still playing comedy with his actors, but a different kind from before. My former gentlemen and lady colleagues sit around and behave as though they were criminals. Do you understand? They tell blood-curdling stories of things that have never happened to them. Speak of crimes they've never committed. And the audience that comes here enjoys the pleasant titillation of hobnobbing with the most dangerous rabble in Paris. Swindlers, burglars, murderers.
What kind of an audience?
The most elegant people in Paris.
Noble.
Gentlemen of the court.
Yeah, down with them.
It does them good. It gives a fillip to their jaded senses. 'Twas here that I made my start, Lebre. Here that I delivered my first speech, as though for a joke. Here it was that I first began to hate the dogs who sat among us with all their fine clothes and perfumes and rottenness. And I'm very glad indeed, my good Lebre, that you too should see just for once the place from which your great friend raised himself. I say, Prosper, supposing the business doesn't come off.
What business?
Why, my political career. Will you engage me again?
Not for anything.
Why, I thought there might still be room for somebody besides your Henri.
Apart from that, I should be afraid that you might forget yourself one day and fall foul in earnest of one of my paying customers.
That would certainly be possible.
I have control over myself.
Frankly, Prosper, I must say that I would admire you for your self-control if I happened not to know that you are a poltroon.
My friend, I am satisfied with what I can do in my own line. I get enough pleasure out of being able to tell the fellows my opinion of them to their faces and to insult them to my heart's content while they take it for a joke. That too is a way of venting one's wrath.
Citizen Prosper, what is the meaning of this?
Have no fear. I wager that the dagger is not even sharpened.
Oh.
And that, my friend, you may be making a mistake. One fine day, the jest may turn to earnest, so I am ready for all emergencies.
The day is nigh. We live in great times. Come, Citizen Lebre, we will go to our comrades. Farewell, Prosper. You will see me either a great man or never again.
As a great man or not at all.
Exeunt. Host remains behind, sits on a table, opens a pamphlet, and reads aloud.
Now that the beast is in the noose, throttle it. He doesn't like badly, this little Desmond. Never was a richer booty offered to the victors. 40,000 palaces and castles, 2/5 of all the property in France will be the reward of valor. Those who plume themselves on being conquerors will be put beneath the yoke. The nation will be purged.
Enter the commissar.
Hello. The rabble's beginning to come in pretty early tonight.
My dear Prosper, don't start any of your jokes on me. I am the commissar of your district.
And how can I be of service?
I have orders to attend the performance in your tavern this evening.
It will be an especial honor for me.
There's nothing of that, my excellent Prosper. The authorities wish to have definite information as what really goes on in your place. For some weeks...
This is a place of amusement, Monsieur le Commissaire. Nothing more.
Let me finish what I was saying. For some weeks, this place is said to have been the theater of wild orgies.
You are falsely informed, Monsieur le Commissaire. We make jokes here, nothing more.
It begins with that, I know, but it finishes up in another way, so I am informed. You have been an actor.
A manager, sir. Manager of a first-class troupe who last played in Venice.
Ah, that is immaterial. Then you came into a small legacy.
Not worth speaking about, Monsieur le Commissaire. Yes.
Your troupe split up.
And my legacy as well.
Very well. You started a tavern.
Yeah, that fared wretchedly.
After which you had an idea that, which is one must admit, possesses a certain quantum of originality.
Oh, you make me quite proud, sir.
You gathered your troupe together again and have a comedy played here which is of a peculiar and by no means harmless character.
If it were harmful, Monsieur le Commissaire, I should not have my audience. The most aristocratic audience in Paris. I'm in a position to say, the Vicomte de Nugent is my daily customer. The Marquis de la Cinq often comes, and the Duc de Cardigan, Monsieur le Commissaire, is the most enthusiastic admirer of my leading actor, the celebrated André Gaston.
As well of the art or arts of your actresses.
When you get to know my little actresses, Monsieur le Commissaire, you won't blame anybody in the whole world for that.
Enough. The authorities have been informed that the entertainments which your, what shall I say?
The word artists ought to suffice.
I will decide on the word. Subjects. That the entertainments which your subjects provide transgress in every sense the limits the laws allow. Speeches are said to be delivered by you, what shall I say, by your artist criminals, which, what does my information say? Which are calculated to produce not only an immoral effect, which would bother us but little, but a highly seditious effect, a matter of which the authorities absolutely cannot be indifferent at a time so agitated as the one in which we live.
Monsieur le Commissaire, I can only answer that accusation by politely inviting you to see the things just once for yourself. You will observe that nothing of a seditious nature takes place here, if only because my audience will not permit it itself to be made seditious. This is simply a theatrical performance here. That is all.
I naturally cannot accept your invitation, but I will stay here by virtue of my office.
I think I can promise you a first-class entertainment, Monsieur le Commissaire. But I will take the liberty of advising you to do off your official garb and to appear here in civilian clothes. If people actually saw a commissaire in uniform here, both the spontaneity of my artists and the mood of the audience would suffer thereby.
You are right, Monsieur Prosper. I will go away and come back as an elegant young man.
You will have no difficulty about that, Monsieur le Commissaire. You would be welcomed here, even as a vagabond. That would not excite attention, but not as a commissaire.
Goodbye. The commissar meets Grain in the doorway. Grain is in absolute rags and gives us a start when he sees the
When will the blessed day come when I can treat you in your damn box?
The latter looks at him first, smiles, and then turns courteously to the host. One of your artists already? Exits. Good evening.
If you're one of my troupe, I won't grudge you my recognition of your art because I don't recognize you.
What do you mean?
No jest now. Take off your wig. I'd rather like to know who you are.
Oh dear.
Oh, this is genuine. Heavens, who are you? You appear to be a real ragamuffin.
I am.
What do you want of me?
Have I the honor of speaking to Citizen Prosper, the host of the Green Cockatoo?
I am he.
My name is Grain, sometimes Carniche, very often shrieking Pumastone. But I was sent to prison, Citizen Proper, under the name of Grain, and that is the real point.
Ah, I understand. You want to play in my establishment and start off with playing me. Good. Go on.
Prosper, don't look upon me as a swindler. I'm a man of honor. If I tell you that I was in prison, 'tis the complete truth. Here, Citizens Proper, you want to take a look at this? Yesterday. I was let out yesterday at 4 o'clock.
After 2 years imprisonment? It's genuine.
Were you all the time doubting it then, Citizen Proper?
What did you do to get 2 years?
Well, I would have been hanged, but I was lucky enough to be still half a child when I killed my poor aunt.
Nay, fellow, how can a man kill his own aunt?
Well, Citizen Prosper, I would never have done it if my aunt had not deceived me with my best friend.
Your aunt?
That's it. She was dearer to me than aunts usually are to their nephews. The family relations were peculiar. It made me embittered, most embittered. May I tell you about it?
Go on telling. Perhaps you and I will be able to do some business together.
My sister was but half a child when she ran away from home. And whom do you think she went with?
It's difficult to guess.
Well, with her uncle. And he left her in the lurch with a child.
A whole one, I hope.
It's indelicate of you, Citizen Prosper, to jest about such things.
I'll tell you what, shrieking pumice stone, your family history bores me. Do you think I'm here to listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry? Or ragamuffin telling me whom he has killed? What's all this got to do with me? I take it you wish something of me.
I truly, Citizen Prosper, I've come to ask you for work.
Ah, I would have remarked that there are no aunts to murder in my place. This is the house of entertainment.
Oh, I found once quite enough. I want to become a respectable member of society. I was recommended to come to you.
By whom, may I ask?
A charming young man whom they put in my cell 3 days ago. Now he's alone. His name's Gaston, and you know him.
Gaston! Now I know why I've missed him for 3 evenings. One of my best interpreters of pickpockets. He told yarns. Ah, it made them split their sides.
Quite so, and now they've nabbed him.
Nab, what do you mean? He didn't really steal, I suppose.
Yes, he did, but it must have been the first time, for he seems to have gone about it with incredible clumsiness. Just think of it. Just made a grab at the pocket of a lady in the Boulevard de Capucines and pulled out her purse. An absolute amateur. You inspire me with confidence, Citizen Prosper, and so I'll make a confession to you. There was a time when I too transacted little bits of business of that sort, but never without my dear father. When I was still a child, when we all lived together, when my poor aunt was still alive.
What are you moaning for? I think this is in bad taste. You ought not to have killed her.
Too late. But the point I was coming to is, take me on here. I will do just the opposite of Gaston. He played the thief and became one.
I will give you a trial. You will produce a fine effect with your makeup. In a given moment, you'll just describe the aunt matter, how it all happened. Someone or other will be sure to ask.
Oh, I thank you, Citizen Prosper. And with regard to my wages?
You will be playing on trial. and I am therefore not yet in a position to pay you wages. But you will get good stuff to eat and drink, and I shall not mind a franc or so for a night's lodging.
I thank you, and just introduce me to your other colleagues as a visitor from the provinces.
Oh, no. We will tell them right away that you are a real murderer. They will much prefer that.
Pardon me, I don't wish to do anything against my interest, but I don't see why.
When you have been on the boards a bit longer, you will understand.
Enter Scaviola and Jules.
Good evening, Chief.
How many times have I got to tell you that the whole joke falls flat if you call me chief?
Well, whatever you are, I don't think we shall play tonight.
And why?
The people won't be in the mood. There's a hellish uproar in the streets, and in front of the Bastille, especially, they are yelling like men possessed.
What matters that to us? The shouting has been going on for months and our audience hasn't stayed away from us. It goes on diverting itself just as it did before.
It has the gaiety of people who are shortly going to be hanged.
Only I live to see it.
In the meantime, give us something to drink to get me into the vein. I don't feel at all in the vein tonight.
That's often the case with you, my friend. I must tell you that I was most dissatisfied with you last night.
Why so, if I may ask?
The story about the burglary, that was simply babyish.
Babyish?
To be sure, absolutely incredible. Mere roaring is of no avail.
I didn't roar.
Always roaring. It will really be necessary for me to rehearse things with you. One can never rely on your inspirations. Henri is the only one.
Henri, never anything but Henri. Henri simply plays at the gallery. My burglary of last night was a masterpiece. Henri will never do anything as good as that as long as he lives. If I don't satisfy you, my friend, then I'll just go to a proper theater. Anyhow, yours is nothing but a cheap jack establishment. Oh, hello. Who is this? He isn't one of our lot, is he? Perhaps you just engaged someone? But what a makeup the fellow has.
Calm yourself. It's not a professional actor. It's a real murder.
Oh, indeed. Very glad to know you. My name is Scaviola.
My name is Grain. Jules has been walking around the room the whole time, frequently standing still, like a man tortured inwardly.
What ails you, Jules?
I'm learning my part.
What?
Remorse. Tonight I'm playing a man who is prey to remorse. Look at me. What do you think of the fur on my forehead here? Do I not look like I've been through all the furies of hell?
Wine! Wine here!
Calm yourself. There's no audience yet.
Enter Henri and Leocadie. Henri.
Angus, Henri?
Yeah, Angus, I asked you if you could also take on Henri.
Page.
24.
As Angus, as Henri.
There we go. Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Henri. What do I see? You and Leocadie together.
Oh, why, I know her.
Yes, my dear Prosper, it is I.
I have not seen you for a year on end. Let me greet you now.
Ah,
Who's it?
I didn't hear Henri say stop that.
Oh, stop that.
But Henri, as between two old comrades, your old chief Leocadie.
oh, the good old times. Prosper.
What are you sighing about? When a wench has made her way in the way you have, no doubt about it, a pretty young woman is always a much easier time of it than we have.
Stop it.
Why the deuce do you keep on shouting at me like that? Because you picked up with her once more.
Hold your tongue. She became my wife yesterday.
Is he joking?
He has really married me. Yes.
Then I congratulate you. I say, Scavola, Jules, Henri is married.
Oh, I wish you joy.
Oh, how strange. I saw that woman a few minutes after I was let out.
What do you mean?
Well, she was the first pretty woman I'd seen for 2 years. I was very moved. But it was another gentleman with whom...
Leocadie, my love, my wife, all the past is over now. A great deal is blotted out on an occasion like this.
What sort of an occasion?
We are united now by a holy sacrament. That means more than any human oath. God is now watching over us, and one ought to forget everything which has happened before. Leocadie, a new age is dawning. Everything becomes holy now, Leocadie. Our kisses, however wild they may be, are holy from henceforth. Leocadie, my love, my wife. Oh, isn't her expression quite different here? Prosper, from what you ever knew her to have before. Is not her forehead pure? What has been is blotted out. Not so, Leocadie?
Surely, Henri.
And all is well. We leave Paris tomorrow. Leocadie makes her last appearance tonight at the Porte Saint-Martin, and I am placing here tonight for the last time.
Are you mad, Henri? Do you want to desert me? Besides, the manager of the Porte Saint Martin will never think of letting Leocadie go away. Well, she makes the fortune of his house. The young gentlemen stream thither, so they say.
Oh, hold your peace. Leocadie will go with me. She will never desert me. Tell me that you will never desert me, Leocadie. Tell me.
I will never desert you.
If you did, I would... Oh, I am sick of this life. I want quiet. I wish to have quiet.
What do you want to do then, Henri? It is quite ridiculous. I will make you a proposition. So far as I am concerned, take Leocadie from the Porte Saint Martin, but let her stay here with me. I will engage her. Anyway, I have rather a dearth of talented women characters.
Her mind is made up, Prosper. We are leaving town. We are going into the country.
Into the country? But where?
But to my old father, who lives alone in our poor village. I haven't seen him for 7 years. He has almost given up hope of ever seeing his lost son again. He will welcome me with joy.
What will you do in the country? In the country, they all starve. People are 1,000 times worse off there than in town. What on earth are you going to do there? You are not the man to till the fields. Don't you imagine you are?
Time will prove that I am the man to do even that.
Soon there won't be any corn growing in any part of France. You are going to certain misery.
To happiness, Prosper. Not so, Leocadie. We've often dreamt of it. I yearn for the peace of the wide plains. Yes, Prosper, I have seen myself in my dreams going over the fields with her in an infinite stillness with the wonderful placid heavens over us. We will flee from this awful and dangerous town. A great peace will come over us. Is it not true, Leocadie, that we have often had such dreams?
Yes, we have often had such dreams.
Look, here, Henri, you should consider it. I will gladly raise your wages. I will give Leocadie quite as much as you.
Hear you that, Henri?
I really don't know who's to take your place. Not a single one of my people has such precious inspirations as you have. Not one of them is so popular with my audience as you. Don't go away.
I can quite believe that no one will take my place.
Stay by me, Henri.
And I promise you that they will take my departure to heart. They, not I. For tonight, for my final appearance, I have reserved something that will make them all shudder. A foreboding that the end of this world will come over them, for the end of their world is nigh. but I shall only experience it from a safe distance. They will tell us about it out there, Leocadie, many days after it has happened. But I tell you, they will shudder, and you yourself will say, Henri has never played so well.
Oh, what are you going to play? What? Do you know what, Leocadie?
I never know anything.
But has anyone any idea what an artist lies hidden within me?
They certainly have an idea. That's why I tell you that a man with a talent such as yours doesn't go and bury himself in the country. What an injustice to yourself and to art.
Oh, I don't care a straw about art. I wish for quiet. Now, you don't understand that, Prosper. You've never loved you
Oh,
as I love. I want to be alone with her. That's the only way. That's the only way, Leocadie, of forgetting everything. But then we shall be happier than human beings have ever been before. We shall have children. You will be a good mother, Leocadie, and a true wife. All the past will be blotted out.
It's getting late, Henri. I must go to the theater. Farewell, Prosper. I'm glad at last to have seen your famous den, the place where Henri scores such triumphs.
but why did you never come?
Henri would not let me, because I should have to sit next to the young men, you know.
Give me a drink, Scaevola.
Henri is an arrant fool. And if you had only sat next to them,
Now then, no remarks of that sort.
take my tip and be careful, you silly gutter brat. He will kill you one of these days.
What's up then?
You were seen only yesterday with one of your fellows.
That was not a fellow, you blockhead. That was...
No, what's the matter with you? No jokes if you don't mind. No more whispering, no more secrets now. She's my wife.
Yeah. What did you give her for a wedding present?
Devons. He never thinks about such things.
Well, you shall have one this very night.
What?
What are you going to give her?
When you have finished your scene, you must come here and see me act. No woman has ever had a more glorious wedding present. Come, Leocadie, goodbye for the present. Prosper, I shall soon be back again.
Exeunt Henry and Leocadie enter together Francois, Vicomte de Nogent, and Albin, Chevalier de la Tremoille.
What an incontemptible braggart.
Good evening, you swine.
Was that not the little Leocadie of the Porte Saint-Martin who went away with Henri?
Of course it was. If she really took great trouble, she could eventually make you remember that even you are something of a man, eh?
That is not impossible. It seems we are rather early tonight, huh?
In the meantime, you can amuse yourself with your minion.
Albin is on the point of flying into a passion.
Very fast. I told you what went on here. Bring us wine.
Yeah, that I will. The time will soon come when you will be very satisfied with Seine water.
Ah, quite so, quite so. But tonight, I would find ask for wine and the best wine into the bargain.
That is really a dreadful fellow.
But just think, it's all a joke. And withal, there are places where you can hear similar things in real earnest, huh?
Is it not forbidden?
One sees that you come from the provinces.
We too are having a bad time of it nowadays. The peasants are getting so insolent, one doesn't know what to do anymore.
Oh, what would you have? The poor devils are hungry. That is the secret.
How can I help it? How can my granduncle help it?
Why do you mention your great uncle?
Well, I do so because they actually held a meeting in our village quite openly. And at the meeting, they actually called my great uncle, the Comte de Tremoille, a corn usurer.
Is that all?
Nay, is that not enough?
Well, we will go to the Palais Royal tomorrow, and there we will have chance of hearing the monstrous speeches the fellows make. But we will let them speak, huh? It is the best thing to do. They are good people at bottom. One must let them bawl themselves out in that way.
What suspicious characters these are. Just see how they look at one.
Don't be ridiculous. You need to not begin yet. Wait until there's more audience. They are the most respectable people in the world after that. Huh? I will warrant you, you have already sat at the table with worse knaves.
But they were better attired.
Host brings wine. Enter Michette and Flippo.
God be with you, children. Come sit down by us.
Oh, no, sorry.
Here we are. Come along, Flippo. She is still somewhat shy.
Good evening, young gentleman.
Good evening, ladies.
The little one is a dear. She sits on Albin's lap.
But, Francois, please explain. Are these respectable ladies?
What does he say?
No, that's not quite so odd for the ladies who come here, huh? Odds life. You're silly, I don't.
What shall I bring for their graces?
Bring me a very sweet wine.
A friend of yours?
We live together. Yes, we have only one bed between us.
Wouldn't you find it a very great nuisance should you come and see her?
She's not at all shy.
At last I found you. And you miserable seducer, aren't you ashamed that she is mine?
A joke. A joke.
She isn't his.
Go away. You let me sit where I want to.
Now.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha ha! You have not a farthing worth of talent roaring. That's the only thing you can do.
Recently, he did it much better.
I'm not in the vein. I'll make a better show later on when more people are here. You see? Prosper, I need an audience.
Enter the Duke de Cadine.
Already in full swing.
Oh, my sweet Duke.
Good evening.
Good evening, Emile. Good evening, Emile. Huh? My young friend Albin, Chevalier de Tremouille, the Duc de Mignon.
I am delighted to make your acquaintance. Oh, leave me alone, children. So you two are having a look at this droll tavern.
It bewilders me in the extreme.
The Chevalier.
The Chevalier has only been in Paris a few days, huh?
Then you have certainly chosen a nice time.
How so?
He still has that delicious perfume. There isn't another man in Paris who has such a pleasant smell. You can't perceive it like that.
She speaks of the 700 or 800 whom she knows as well as me.
Will you let me play with your sword, dear?
He draws his sword out of its sheath and flashes it about. He's the man. 'Twas he the man I saw her with.
Henri is not here yet, then? If you see him, you will not regret having come here.
Oh, so you're here again, are you? I am glad. We shall not have the pleasure much longer.
Why, I find it very nice at your place.
I believe that. But since in any case, you will be one of the first.
Hmm?
What does that mean?
You understand me well enough. The favorites of fortune will be the first.
If I were king, I would make him my court fool. I mean to say, I should have many court fools, but he would be one of them.
What did he mean by saying that you were too fortunate?
He means, Chevalier,
Please don't call me Chevalier. Everybody calls me Albin. Simply Albin, just because I look so young.
good. But you must call me Emile, eh?
With pleasure, if you allow it, Emile.
They have a sinister wit, these people.
Quite sinister. I find it quite reassuring. So long as the mob is in the mood for jests, it will never come to anything serious.
Only the jests are much too strange. I learned a thing today that gives food for thought.
Tell us.
Aye, tell us, sweet Duke.
Do you know Lelange?
Across the village, the Marquis de Montparnasse has one of his finest ones there.
Quite right. My brother is now at the castle with him, and he has written home about the things I am going to tell you. They have a mayor at Lelange who is very unpopular.
You can tell me the name of one who is popular.
Just listen. The women of the village paraded in front of the mayor's house with a coffin.
What? What, did they carry it? Carry a coffin? I wouldn't like to carry a coffin for anything in the world.
Hold your tongue. Nobody's asking you to carry a coffin. Well,
And one or two of the women went into the mayor's house and explained to him that he must die, but they would do him the honor of burying him.
well, how do they kill him?
Oh, no. Well, at least my brother doesn't write anything about it.
Well, the stars, doctors, clowns, that's what they are. Today, they're roaring in Paris at the Bastille for a change, just as they've already done half a dozen times before.
Well, if I were king, I should have made an end of it long ago.
Is it true that the king is so good-natured?
You have not yet been presented to his majesty.
This is the first time the Chevalier has been in Paris.
Ah, yes, you are incredibly young. How old, if I may ask?
I only look so young. I am already 17.
17. Oh, how much is still in front of you? I am already 24 and 20. I'm beginning to regret how much of my youth I've missed.
Oh, that is good, John. You count every day lost in which you have not conquered a woman or killed a man.
Only the unfortunate thing is that one never makes a conquest of the right woman and always kills the wrong man. And as a matter of fact, is how one misses one, and that, as a matter of fact, is how one misses one's youth. You know what Rollin says.
What does Roland say?
I was thinking of his new piece that they are playing at the Comédie. There is such a pretty simile in it. Don't you remember?
I have no memory for verses.
Oh, nor have I, unfortunately. I only remember the sense. He says, youth which a man does not enjoy is like a feather ball which you leave lying in the sand instead of throwing it up in the air.
I think that is quite right.
Is it not true? The feathers gradually lose their colour and fall out. 'Tis better for it to fall into a bush where it cannot be found.
How should one understand that, Emile?
It is more a matter of feeling than understanding. Oh, if I could repeat the verses, you would understand it at once.
I have an idea, Emile, that you too could make verses if you wished.
Why?
Since you've been here, it seems to me as though life were flaming up.
Yes? Is life flaming up?
Won't you come and sit with us all after all?
Oh, I cannot
Two
stay.
nobles come in and sit down at a distant table. Host appears to be addressing insults to them.
Oh, I cannot stay here. But in any case, I will come back again.
Stay with me. Take me with you.
Just you leave him alone. You're not bad enough for him by a long way. He's got to run after a whore up the streets. That's where he feels most in his element.
Oh, I shall certainly come back, if only not to Miss Henri.
What do you think when we came? Henri was just going out with you, Caddy?
Really? He's married her. Did you know that?
So, what will the others have to say to it?
What others?
She's love all around, you know?
And he wants to go away with her. Oh, what do I know about it? Somebody told me.
Indeed. Did they tell you?
It's too silly. Leocadie was made to be the greatest, the most splendid whore in the world.
Who doesn't know that?
I mean, could anything be more unreasonable than to take people away from their true calling? Oh, I'm not joking. Whores are born, not made, just as conquerors and poets are.
You are paradoxical, huh?
I'm sorry for her and for Henri. He should stay here. No, not here. I should like to bring him to the Comédie, though even there, I always feel as though nobody understood him as well as I do. Of course, that may be an illusion, since I have the same feeling in regard to most artists. But I must say, if I were not the Duc de Cadignan, I should really like to be a comedian like him. Like him, I say.
Like Alexander the Great.
Yes, Alexander the Great. Oh, give me my sword. It is the finest way of making fun of the world. A man who can play any part and at the same time play us is greater than all of us. Don't you reflect on what I say. 'Tis all only true at the actual moment. Goodbye.
Give me a kiss before you go. But hang on him as the Duke kisses them both at once and goes. In the meanwhile.
A wonderful man.
That is quite true. But the existence of man like that is almost a reason for not marrying.
But do explain, what are those girls?
Actresses. And they too belong to the troupe of Prosper, who is at the present the host of the tavern. No doubt they've done in the past much the same as they're doing now.
Oh, saved. Saved.
What is it? What ails you?
What has happened to the man?
That is part of the acting now, Marquis.
Ah,
What is it? What ails you? Sit down. Take a draft.
Oh, more. Prosper, more wine. I've been running. My tongue cleaves to my mouth. They were right at my heels.
Ah! Jules. Julius! I don't hear anything.
They really are at your heels.
Ah! Come, tell us what happened then. Movement, more movement.
Women here. Women. Oh, that brings one back to life again. The devil take me, my boy, if I thought I would ever see you alive again. They come. No, it's nothing.
strange. There really is a noise as though people outside were pressing forward very quickly. Is that part of the stage effects as well?
He goes into such damned subtleties every blessed time. 'Tis too silly.
On now, tell us why they are at your heels again.
Oh, nothing special. But if they got me, it would cost me my head. I've set fire to a house.
During the scene, young nobles come in and sit down at the tables.
Go on, go on.
Oh, what more do you want? Isn't it enough for you? I've set fire to a house.
But tell me, my friend, why you set fire to the house?
Because the president of the Supreme Court lived in it. We wanted to make a beginning with him. We wanted to keep the good Parisian householders from taking folk into their houses so lightly who send us poor devils to the prison.
That's good. That's good.
All the houses must be fired. 3 more fellows like me, and there won't be any more judges in Paris.
Death to the judges! Yes, but there may be one whom we can't annihilate.
I should like to know who he is.
The judge within us.
That's tasteless. Leave it off. Scabola, roar. Now's the time.
Wine here, Prosper. We want to drink to the death of all the judges in France.
During the last words enter the Marquis de Lansac and his wife Séverine and Roland the poet.
Death to all who have a power in their hands today.
See you, Severine. That is how they get it off.
Marquis, I warned you. Why?
Oh, who do I see? The Marquise. Allow me to kiss your hand. Good evening, Marquise. Oh, I met you, Roland. You, Marquise, you dare to venture into this place.
Kitty, aren't you reading Séverine?
No. Oh, I am? Okay. I heard such a lot about it, and besides, we are having a day of adventures already, eh, Roland?
Yes, whom? Yes, just think of it, Vicomte. You would never believe where we come from the Bastille. Are they still keeping up to murder?
Aye, indeed. It looks as though they meant to storm it.
Like to a flood that seethes against its banks and rages deep that its own child the earth resists.
Oh, don't, Roland. Oh, we left our carriages there in the neighborhood. It is a magnificent spectacle. There's always something so grand about crowds.
Yes, if they only dismiss Riley. And my wife would not leave me in peace. I had to bring her here.
Well, what is there so very special here?
Host?
Oh, well, so you're here, are you? Dried up old scoundrel? Did you bring your wife along because she wasn't safe enough for you at home?
He's quite a character.
Oh, but take heed that she is not snatched away from under your nose in this very place. Aristocratic ladies like her very often get a deuce of a fancy to try what a real rogue is like.
I suffer unspeakably, Séverine.
My child, I prepared you for this. It is high time that we want.
What ails you? I think it's charming. Nay, let us seat ourselves.
Would you allow me, Marquise, to present to you the Chevalier de L'Outremer, here for the first time too? The Marquis de Lancelot, Roland, a celebrated poet.
Delighted. Is that one of those that are playing, or I can't make it out?
Don't be so stupid, huh? That is the lovely wife of the Marquis de Lancelot, a lady of extreme propriety.
Say that thou lovest me.
Yes, but ask me not every minute.
Have you must have seen already? Nothing much incendiaries are playing over there with the piano.
Chevalier, you must be the cousin of the little Lydia de la Trémollet, who was married today.
Quite so, Marquis. That was one of the reasons why I came to Paris.
I remember having seen you in the church.
I'm highly flattered, Marquis.
What a dear little boy.
My dear Severine, you have never yet managed to know a man without his pleasing you.
Oh, indeed, I did. And what is more, I married him right away.
I am always so afraid, Severine. I am sure there are moments when it's not safe for you to be with your own husband.
There you are. Wish it were poison. But for the time being, the law won't let us serve it to you, you scum.
The time soon come, Prosper.
What is the matter with both those pretty girls? Why don't they come nearer? Now that we once are here, I want to join in everything. I really think that everything is extremely moral here.
Have patience, Severine.
I think nowadays one diverts oneself best in the streets. Do you know what happened to us yesterday when we went for a drive in the Promenade de Longchamp?
Please, my dear Severine, why are you...
Jumped onto the footboard of our carriage and shouted, "Next year you will stand behind your coachman, and we shall be sitting in the carriages."
That is rather strong. Odd life, I don't think one ought to call of such things. Paris is now somewhat feverish, but that will soon pass off again.
I see flames! Flames everywhere I look. Red, high flames.
You're playing a madman, not a criminal.
Does he see flames?
But all this is not the real thing. Marquise,
Tell you how bewildered I feel already with everything.
I have not yet greeted you, darling, you dear old pig.
she just saw, dear Severine.
It does not look that way. Tell me, little one, how many love affairs have you had so far?
It is really wonderful how well my wife, the Marquis, knows how to adapt herself to every situation.
Yes, it is wonderful. Have you counted yours?
When I was still as young as you, of course.
Tell me, Monsieur Roland, is the Marquise joking, or is she really like... I positively can't make it out.
Reality, plain. Do you know the difference so exactly, Chevalier?
At any rate,
I don't. And what I find so peculiar here is that all apparent distinctions, so to speak, are taken away. Reality passes into play, play into reality. Just look now at the Marquise, how she gossips with those creatures as though she were one of them. At the same time, she is.
something quite different.
I thank you, Chevalier.
Well, how did it all happen?
What?
Were you there with your aunt, for which you went to prison for 2 years?
I told you I strangled her.
Oh, that is feeble. He is an amateur. I have never seen him before.
Good evening, children. Is my Balthazar not here yet?
Georgette, sit by me. Your Balthasar will yet be here in time.
If he is not here in 10 minutes, he won't bring off anything again. He won't come back at all then.
Watch her, Marquise. She is the wife of that Balthazar, of whom she has just been speaking, and who will soon come in. She represents just a common street jade, while Balthazar is her bully. All the same, she is the truest wife to be found in the whole of Paris.
Balthazar comes in.
Oh, my Balthazar, so there you are.
It is all in order. I was not worth the trouble. I was always sorry for him. You should size up your customers better, Georgette. I am sick of killing promising youths for the sake of a few francs.
Splendid!
What?
He brings out the point so well.
Enter the commissar, disguised, sits down at table.
Ah, you come at a good time, Monsieur le Commissaire. This is one of my best exponents.
One should really try and find another profession. On my soul, I am not a craven, but this kind of bread is hard-earned.
I can well believe so.
What's the matter with you today?
I will tell you what, Georgette. I think you're a trifle too tender with the young gentleman.
Oh, see what a child he is. But be reasonable, Balthazar. I must needs be very tender so as to inspire them with confidence.
What she says is really deep. If I thought for a moment that you felt anything when another...
What do you say to that? Dumb jealousy will yet bring him to his grave.
I have already heard one side, Georgette, and that was a moment when one of them was already giving sufficient proofs of his confidence.
Well, one can't leave off playing a woman in love so suddenly.
Be careful, Georgette. The Seine is deep. Should you ever deceive me?
Never, never.
I positively can't make it out.
Roland, that is the right interpretation.
You think so?
It's the time we were going, Severine.
Why? I am beginning to enjoy it.
Oh, my Balthazar, I adored you.
Ah, bravo! Bravo!
What loony is that? This is unquestionably too strong. This is... Enter Maurice and Etienne. They are dressed like young nobles, but one can see they are only disguised in dilapidated theater costumes. From the actors' table. Who are they?
May the devil take me if it ain't Maurice and Etienne.
Of course it is they.
Georgette!
Heaven! What monstrously pretty young persons.
It is painful, Severine, to see you so violently excited by every pretty face.
Why did I come here for then?
Tell me, at any rate, that you love me.
You have a short memory.
Well, where do you think we've come from?
Listen, Marquis, they're a couple of quite witty youths. A wedding.
One has got to dress up a bit in places like this, otherwise one of those damned secret police gets on one's track at once.
At any rate, have you made a good haul? Post.
Is that me?
Yeah, bottom of 60. Let's take a look.
Let's have a look.
What did you give me for this?
For that, a louis.
Indeed?
It is not worth more.
That is a lady's watch. Give it to me, Maurice. What will you give me for it? Look at me. Isn't that enough?
No. Give it to me. Look at me.
Dear children, I can have that without risking my head. You are a conceited ape.
I swear that's no acting.
Of course not. There is a flash of reality running through the whole thing. That is the chief charm.
What wedding was it then?
Oh, the wedding of Mademoiselle de la Tremelier. She was married to the Comte de Banville.
Do you hear that, Francois? I assure you they are real names.
Calm yourself, Aban. I know the two. I have seen them play a dozen times already. Their specialty is the portrayal of pickpockets. Well, you can do the handsome tonight.
It was a very magnificent wedding. All the nobility of France was there. Even the king was represented.
All that is true.
That is for you, my friends, so that you can see that we all stick to one another.
Properties, dear Albert.
We too, you see, come in for a share.
You take it. You have never earned anything so honestly in your life.
And with a garner, a set of diamonds, and to whom shall I give this? Georgette, Michette, and Flippo all make a rush after it. Patience, you sweet pussies. We will speak about that later on. I will give it to the one who devises a new caress.
Oh, would you not like to let me join in the competition?
I'm possessed. You will drive me mad, Severine.
Severine, had we not better be going now? I think.
Oh, no, I am enjoying myself excellently. Oh, well, my mood is getting so...
How did you get hold of that garter? There was such a crush in the church, and when a lady thinks one is courting her... Jane, who's stolen Francois's purse.
Mere counters. Are you satisfied now?
Jane wants to get away.
Give me the purse at once, which you took from this gentleman.
I?
Straightway, it will be worse for you.
You need not be churlish.
And stay here. I have no time to search you now. Who knows of what else you have pouched. Go back to your place.
I shall win the garter.
Here's your purse. You lost it out of your pocket.
Thank you, Prosper. See, we are in reality in the company of most respectable people.
Henri, who has already been present for some time and has sat behind, suddenly stands up. Henri! There is Henri!
Is he the one you told me so much about?
Assuredly, the man one really comes here to see.
Henri comes to the front of the stage, very theatrically, is silence.
Henri, what ails you?
Observe the look, a world of passion. You see, he is playing the man who commits a crime of passion.
I praise that highly.
But why does he not speak?
He is beside himself. Just watch. Pay attention. He has wrought a fearful deed somewhere.
Oh,
He is somewhat theatrical. It looks as though he were going to get ready for a monologue.
Henri! Henri! Where do you come from?
I have murdered.
What did I say?
who?
The lover of my wife.
Oh,
Yes, I've done it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's how the matter stands. Is it then so wonderful after all? You all know what kind of a creature my wife is. It was bound to end like that.
And she? Where is she?
See, the host takes it seriously. You notice how realistic that makes it seem?
Noise is outside, not too loud. What is that noise that's outside?
Do you hear, Severine?
It sounds as though troops were marching by.
Oh no, it is that dear people of Paris. Just listen how they bowl. Ah. Go on, Henry, go on.
Yes, do tell us, Henri. Where is your wife? Where have you left her?
Oh, I have no qualms about her. She will not die of it. Whether it is this man or that man, what do the women care? There are still 1,000 other handsome men running about Paris, whether it is this man or that man.
May it fare thus with all who take our wives from us.
all who take from us what belongs to us.
These are seditious speeches.
It is dreadful. The people mean it seriously.
Down with the usurers of France. We would fain wager that the fellow whom he caught with his wife was another again of those accursed hounds who rob us of our bread as well.
I propose we go.
Henri!
But, Marquise,
Please, dear Marquise, ask the man how he caught his wife, or I will ask him myself.
Tell us, Henry, how did you manage to catch the pair?
Ah, know you my wife then? She is the fairest and vilest creature under the sun, and I loved her. We have only known one another for 7 years, but it is only yesterday that she became my wife. In those 7 years, there was not one day, nay, not one day in which she did not lie to me, for everything about her is a lie. Her eyes, her lips, her kisses, and her smiles.
He runs a little.
Every boy and every old man, everyone who excited her and everyone who paid her, everyone I think who wanted her has possessed her, and I have known it.
Oh, not everyone can boast as much.
All the same, she loved me, my friends. Can any one of you understand that? She always came back to me again from all quarters, back to me again, from the handsome and from the ugly, from the shrewd and from the foolish, from ragamuffins and from courtiers, always came back to me.
Now, if only you had an inkling that it is just this coming back, which is really love.
But I suffered tortures, tortures.
It's harrowing.
Yesterday I married her. We had a dream. Nay, I had a dream. I wanted to get away with her from here into solitude, into the country, into the great peace. We wished to live like other happy married couples. We dreamt also of having a child.
Very good.
I said very good.
That man is speaking the truth.
Quite so. The love story is true, but the reprise is a murder story.
It was just one day too late. There was just one man whom she had forgotten. Otherwise, I believe she wouldn't have wanted anyone else. But I caught them together. It is all over with him.
Who? Who? How did it happen? Where does he lie?
Why?
Are you pursued? How did it happen? Where is she?
I escorted her to the theatre. Today was to be the last time. I kissed her at the door, and she went to her dressing room. And I went off like a man who has nothing to fear. But when I had gone 100 yards, I began to have within me, do you understand, a terrible unrest. And it was as though something forced me to turn around. I turned around and went back. And once there, I felt ashamed and went away again. And again, I walked 100 yards away from the theatre. And then something gripped me. And again, I went back. Her scene was at an end. She hasn't got much to do. She just stands a while on the stage half naked, and then she's finished. I stood in front of her dressing room, put my dear ear to the door, and heard whispers. I could not make out a word. The whispering ceased. I pushed out the door. It was the Duke de Cadignan, and I murdered him.
Oh,
What are you doing, Marquise? The moment you call out bravo, you make it all acting again, and the pleasant shudder is past.
I do not find the shudder so pleasant. This is applause, my friend. That is the only way we can throw off the spell.
Gentle bravo, continually louder, all applaud.
bravo.
Save yourself. Flee, Henri.
What? What?
And let this be enough and see that you get away.
Hush. Let us hear what the host has to say.
I am telling him that he ought to get away before the watch at the city gates are informed. The handsome Duke was a favorite of the king. They will break you on the wheel. Far better had it been had you stabbed that scum, your wife.
What? Playing up to each other? Splendid!
Prosper, Which of us is mad, you or I?
It is wonderful. We all know that he is acting, and yet, if the Duc de Cadine were to enter now, it would be like a ghost appearing. Noise outside, growing stronger and stronger. People come in, shrieks are heard. Right at their head, Grasset, others among them, Libre, force their ways over the steps. Cries of liberty, liberty are heard.
Here we are, my boys, and here. What is that? Is that part of the performance?
No.
No, what means it?
No.
But people
What
are
means it?
in here. I tell you, my friend Prosper has still got a barrel of wine left. We have earned it.
Severin. What people are those? In here. I tell you, my friend Prosper has still got a barrel of wine left, and we have earned it. Friend, brother, we have them, we have them.
Liberty, liberty!
Liberty! Liberty!
Severin,
What has happened?
let us.
Let us get away. Let us get away. The mob approaches.
How do you propose to get away?
It has fallen. The Bastille has fallen.
What say you? Speak ye the truth.
Hear you not?
Albin wants to draw his sword.
Stop there at once. Oh, we are all lost.
And if you hasten, you will still be in time to see quite the merry sight. The head of our dear Delaunay stuck on a very high pole.
Is the fellow mad?
Liberty, liberty!
We have
Liberty!
cut off a dozen heads. The Bastille belongs to us. The prisoners are free. Paris belongs to the people.
Hear you! Hear you! Paris belongs to us!
See you how he gains courage now. Yes. Oh. One moment. Not more. Oof. Yes, shout away, Prosper. Not more can happen to you now.
What say you to it, you rabble? The joke is at an end.
Said I not so?
The people of Paris have conquered.
Silence! Silence! I forbid the continuance of the performance.
Is that nincompoop?
Prosper, I regard you as responsible for all these seditious speeches.
Is the fellow mad?
The joke is at an end. Don't you understand? Henri, do tell them. Now you can tell them. We will protect you. The people of Paris will protect you.
Yes. Yay. The people of Paris.
Henri has really murdered the Duc de Cadine.
What says he?
Yes, he.
What means all this,
What
Henri?
means all this, Henri?
Henri, pray speak.
Henry, pray speak.
He found him with his wife, and he has killed him.
Tis not true.
Oh,
You need fear naught no more. Now you can shout it all to the world. I could have told you an hour past that Sue was the Duke's mistress. By God, I was not telling you. It's not true. You shrieking tombstone. Did we not know it?
Who has seen her? Where has she been seen?
What matters that to you now? The man's mad. You have killed him. Of a truth, you cannot do more.
In heaven's name, is it really true or not?
Aye, it is true.
Henri, from henceforth you must be my friend. Vive la liberté! Vive la liberté!
Henry, speak.
She was his mistress. She was the mistress of the Duke. I knew it not. He lives. He lives.
Where is the truth now?
My God.
The Duke forces his way through the crowd on the steps.
The Duke!
The Duke!
Well, what is it?
Is it a ghost?
Well, not that I know of. Let me through.
What? Won't we wager that it's all arranged? The fellow's yawn belonged to Prosper's troop. Bravo, Prosper. This is a real success.
What is it? Is playing still going on here? While outside? Oh, but you don't know what manner of things are taking place outside. I have seen Delaunay's head carried past on a pole. Hey, why do you look at me like that? Henri?
Garde your face from Henri.
Henri rushes like a madman on the Duke and plunges a dagger into his neck. Now this goes too far.
Oh, he bleeds.
Hey,
Murder has been done here.
The Duke is dying.
I'm distracted, dear Sir Evelyn. To think that today of all days I should have brought you to this place.
Why not? It is a wonderful success. One does not see a real Duke really murdered every day.
I cannot grasp it yet. Silence! Let no one leave this place.
what does he want?
I arrest this man in the name of the law.
It is we who make the laws, you blockheads. Out with the rabble. He who kills a duke is a friend of the people. Vive la liberté!
Alban draws his sword.
Follow me, my friends.
Leocadi rushes in over the steps. His wife!
Let me in here. I want my husband. Who has done this? Henri! Why have you done this?
Why?
I know why. Because of me. Nay, nay. Say not 'twas because of me. Never in all my life have I been worth that. Citizens of Paris, we will celebrate our victory. Chance has led us on our way through the streets of Paris to this amiable host. It could not have been fitted in more prettily. Nowhere can the cry, Vive la liberté, ring sweeter than over the corpse of a duke.
Viva la liberté! Viva la liberté!
Liberté!
I think we might go. The people have gone mad. Let us go.
Shall we leave the corpse here?
Vive la liberté! Vive la liberté!
Are you mad?
Viva la liberté! Viva la liberté!
Vive la liberté!
Wait you tonight outside my window. I will throw the key down like t'other night. We will pass a pretty hour. I feel quite pleasurably excited.
Viva la liberté!
Viva la liberté! Viva Henry!
Viva
Viva
Henry!
Henry!
Henri!
Oh, look at the fellows. They're running away from us.
Let them for tonight. Let them. They will not escape us.
End of play. Thank you.
Vive la France!
Well done. Thank you. Thank you. That was good. It is something to just sort of do try and do this that has like about 20 characters with just the six of us. So
Yep.
thank you. And it works really well. I mean, it's especially it actually, I mean, the idea of sort of doubling Henri with the Duc de Cadagne, I mean, is a real sort of interesting sort of like what is real and what is not kind of thing, as he even makes a sort of reference to it. But
It's bad enough when you have to have a conversation with yourself, but when you have to kill yourself,
yeah, no, that it would be a challenge. That's somewhat possible. You can do it in reading, and much less.
Practice, good practice.
So what a timely piece, especially with just the free speech issue going on, the AI taking over artists and limiting what we say and censorship. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Bastille is resurrected in some way here at some point.
Yeah, well, and you also, I mean, the thing we still have, like, not as bad as it was before the French Revolution, but great inequalities in terms of wealth in this country, and well, in terms of the Western world, basically, and so yeah, that's that stuff still really resonates.
Ongoing for eternity, I think. This type of struggle.
Mm,
Yeah, AI is another.
It won't end. Just changes. It keeps changing.
yeah, no, that's why it's like things like this, plays like this, still are worth doing and are relevant. There's a lot of, well, I mean, it's like we've got I mean, the guy's a former president, maybe president again because of reality TV, you know?
Well, AI could actually be the breaker of it all, kind of like Anita Bryant was for the gay movement. In other words, enough is enough.
All right. Well, is there anything anybody wants to say about the play or anything with that? Because I mean, one of the other things that that just sort of struck me was sort of funny in that so much in the beginning of it, it's sort of talking about performance, you know, and how to put it on. And oh yeah, the thing that occurred to me was that my wife is now directing this this dinner theater murder mystery where where you pay for tickets and you have a dinner and they perform a murder mystery for you. So it sort of struck me, it's like, well, that is actually somewhat similar to what is going on here. You know, so seeing somebody murdered in front of you while you have your dinner or drinks in this case. But
I always remember, well, where was I? In Georgia, they were doing Real Inspector Hound.
They're going to have food as well.
But we did Real Inspector Hound, and everybody in the audience was watching to see if the corpse under the sofa actually ever twitched.
Sure.
yes, the challenges of a dead body. All right, well then let me just end our live stream then. Thank you. Yes, it is an hour and a half or almost an